When was the last time you flipped a shit in public for no reason?
Wow.
Well, I don't want to say no reason because there's always a reason.
Right.
But looking back, irrationally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had spent 2 days alone, as we often spend days alone now. And
this was in 2016?
This was the first few years of my childhood. No, this was recently this year. And I had binged The Queen's Gambit because everybody had told me it was a great show and I should watch it.
It's not.
Yeah, this is
I
my
watched one
problem.
episode. I said,
it's
what,
bullshit.
Is she playing checkers? What's going on here?
Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
I did watch
Yeah.
the entire thing.
Yeah, I watched the entire thing, and then I went and met up with some friends, and one of them was like, "Oh, have you watched The Queen's Gambit yet?" And the whole time, the previous 2 days, I hadn't spoken to anybody and just been like feasting on the show and hating it every second. And I was like, that show is fucking bullshit.
Oh
and he was
gosh.
like, and I just really launched into why I hated the show. And
was there multiple people there who saw this happen?
Yeah. And then I apologized a lot afterwards. Yeah.
It's always the apology. You feel so weird. You want to be like, hey, that's not me. And they're like, listen, just get out of my house.
Right.
And it's your dad.
I know.
So you didn't like The Queen's Gambit?
I didn't.
I didn't either. I watched one episode.
Yeah. I was
Did you?
Like,
I can't. But they hook you, so you can't. It's just that woman going like this the whole time.
Yeah, she's just like angry and like too hot. Like, show me an ugly girl being good at chess, please.
She's supposed to be an ugly girl.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I know.
It's so offensive.
And
it's terrible.
Netflix thinks this is what ugly is.
Right.
Meanwhile, I can't even do the ABCs.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking.
That's
what's
a show
going on
right
here?
there. I mean, look at you.
It just could have been
Thank you.
one
I appreciate
episode.
that.
Getting you back for the wool sock.
No, I want, and it's truth. It's the truth. You know what I hate when you're doing stand up and you call yourself ugly or something, and the audience is like, "Oh, come on, you're like a 6, girlie."
Is that what they say to you? To me, they're like, "Yeah, dig in, bitch."
I always get the sad hot girl who's like, "Oh, come on,"
Just a
and they
little
interrupt
makeup.
and they're like, "Wait," you're like 5 jokes later, and they're like, "Wait," and you're like, "Yes," and she's like, "I just wanted to say, I do think you're really pretty."
Is this what you get?
Yeah.
Oh my! Wow! I
Not
get
to
people who
brag.
shit into their hands and they're like, "You are." That's awesome.
I get awes. I get aw,
I
which is like, we
know.
agree. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Totally.
I don't say I'm ugly. I rip on hot people though. I
Yeah.
just rip into them.
I see what you mean.
I say
yeah.
I'm fat.
Well, I've ripped it. I say I'm fat too,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
they're like, "You're kidding,
Well,
right?"
but you can't say, you can say you're fat in New York, but you can't say you're fat anywhere else.
No, because you go
you're
to
not.
Indiana.
Yeah, no
they're
way.
like, "Who are you?
You're
A model?
Yeah.
What's going on?"
This fat girl the other day was like, "You are like 10 pounds less than me. You are not fat." And I was like, "I mean,
You're like 50 pounds less than you.
you're fat."
Yes. The worst is when someone who's like fucking ugly comes up to you after a show and is like, "You spoke to me."
Oh,
and you're like, no.
They have no eyeballs or something.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
You're not my target audience.
No, not at all. Okay, so you freaked out about the Queen's Gambit.
I freaked out about the Queen's Gambit because, you know, it's also like it's supposed to be listed like feminist thing, you know, and it's totally not.
Yeah.
Like, it just is bullshit. Like, she just, like, first of all, the men just like let her. There, nobody ever tries to like have sex with her or anything, which is weird. And the way she gets her period, like at the chest, I'm just so sick of that trope.
I did see that scene.
So annoying when the
popped
girl gets
out.
her period
Yeah.
for the first time, and
Right.
she's like, just like, oh, I have to overcome
And it's blood
this.
beautifully running down her inner thigh as if that's what happens.
No.
I'll
Black
tell you about my
sludge.
first period.
Yeah,
it
black
was
goo that has
Yes.
like fucking amorphous tentacles.
it's a squid that comes out, a black ink squid that comes out of your pussy, and it's 7th grade, and you say, "Uh-oh, I'm dying." It's not that kind of. It's not bright red blood.
No.
It is a dead. It's a miscarriage.
Yeah,
That's what
it's
comes
not
out of
beautiful crimson tears that move
No.
down your moon white leg. It's like you feel the worst pain in your life, throw up, and then there's like a wad of a live octopus in your underwear.
in your pussy.
Yeah. And you know exactly what it is because you're a woman who has been around other women.
And you read the American Girl books that
You're
are
not
like
like,
self-care. No.
This?
No. Yeah. She should have known.
Yeah. At an all girls orphanage, give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
I want to hear the creative process behind the guy who designed the blood and who said this is what it's going to look like. There was no women involved in there, I don't think.
That's why it pissed me off. I'm just so sick of the like girl getting her period in the middle of like a high stakes chess game trope.
Yeah.
Because if she was playing high stakes chess game, it would be the back pain or the lower abdomen pain first.
And then diarrhea.
And then that night, she'd take her underwear off and be like, "Oh, there's a little bit of poop in my..."
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know what pissed me off most about that was the depiction of the alcoholism.
Yeah.
Where she would get wasted and then she'd like dance around with her like little nightie on. And I was like, you would look 100 years old the next day. You would age rapidly if you're drinking like that, and you would not be dancing.
Benzos too. She's all hopped up on benzos.
You'd be leaned over like a notebook, like drooling as you like try and color in a line. Like it's not, nobody's dancing to beautiful music on a record player when they're blackout. It's just ridiculous. It's crazy. Anyway,
it was fun to watch though. It was a beautiful show.